Hi, everybody. Today we're going to be doing a segment. I'm Noelle, and this is Jimmy. It's called Nagging Jimi with Noelle. So, a little backstory about this is I'm a senior at Kutztown right now, and I graduate very, very soon in like less than 2 months. And I kind of have to figure out what I want to do with my life. And Jimmy here wants me to stay in insurance and possibly say, why am I?
It's really Jimmy has been nagging Noelle for a long time.
Yeah, Jimmy nagging Noelle. So today I drew up a couple of questions to ask Jimmy about insurance, about the industry, and that's pretty much what they're going to be about today. And they're not easy questions.
I'm ready.
So you're going in this blindly.
I know. I haven't looked at the questions. I don't know what's coming my way, but I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited too. I'm excited to learn. Should we start?
Let's do it.
Okay. So give me like a brief overview of the various roles included in the industry. So I've heard different terms. I've heard underwriter. I've heard agent, sales, like even personal lines versus commercial. So if you could just give me like, just brief.
Yeah.
And what should they do?
I'm going to say, well, I know what you should do, but there is the insurance carrier. So we'll start there. And they are the one who creates the policy that you or I or a business signs up for. They're the ones taking on the risk and insuring a person. They have a whole bunch of roles, right? They're pretty large companies. Some are regional, some are national. Everything from underwriting to they have sales teams. They have a whole plethora of things. Think of generally your large company. They're going to have all of those roles: HR, marketing, you name it, they have it. Then you come down to us, and we are insurance agents. We're brokers. We go out there, we find those different carriers, and we find the clients, and we put the two together.
Okay.
And so here at an agency, you might have a couple of different kinds of roles. There is a service role. So you're a client of ours. We want to take care of you. If you're an auto client, maybe you have a new car. You call us, and we'll make that change for you. Okay. We'll also advise you and kind of give you an idea of what coverages make sense for you. There's sales. Those policies have to get here somewhere. And so that is someone going out there and, if it's personal lines, they're working with realtors, mortgage officers, trying to develop those relationships to bring in those clients. And then on the commercial side, it is the sales team goes out there. It's boots on the street. You're meeting with business owners. You're making cold calls. You're going in there, doing what you can to get business in the door. And then there's, administration, HR, those sorts of roles. So I would say those are the big three within an agency: sales, service, and administration.
Okay. And what are you in? For everyone who doesn't know.
I would say all of the above.
Okay.
I started on the personal lines team. Love personal lines. It's a lot of fun. You're working with people and the real problems day to day. Then I moved over to commercial, and I love commercial. My background is studying businesses and investing in businesses. And so meeting with business owners, thinking about their problems and their situations just comes naturally to me. Yeah. So I've really enjoyed that. And then January 1st, I purchased the agency. So I've been doing a whole lot of administration, HR, and that sort of thing as well.
So you're not just your regular insurance agent.
No, I wear a lot of hats.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're the first person.
Okay, question number 2.
That was only number 1.
That was only number 1.
Ooh.
We can cut this in half.
No, let's keep going.
We'll see. What does a career progression look like in the industry, and how do you advance your career?
Great question. It's going to depend on which category of those roles you go into.
Let's go in sales, because that's what I'm interested in.
Perfect. Yes. So for a salesperson, you're going to come in, with almost no experience, I would say. And so we're going to teach you, we're going to train you, we're going to bring you up to speed so that you can walk, talk, and breathe insurance. Then once you're there, sales is really what you make of it. We have a producer, a salesperson, who has just made a career and absolutely is killing it because she's very good at what she does.
Who is it?
Helene.
Yes, she's awesome.
She's so good.
Shout out Helene.
Shout out Helene. And that's what it looks like. She started on the service side. Okay. And she was a really good agent, again, really knowledgeable, understood clients. And my dad looked at that and said, "You're also really good at sales. You're very convincing. Like, why don't we get you in that role?" And so she graduated from service to sales. And sales, I would say there's not a career progression there. It's much more, what is your salary progressing? And the better you are, the more you do it, the larger your book becomes and the more money you can make.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So basically, don't settle.
Correct.
Keep going.
Keep going. Yeah.
Okay.
And there are, there are producers out there who make buco bucks, and that's what they do. And then you start developing your team. So to the extent that, you are out there and you are really, really bringing in clients and bringing in policies, well, you're going to have one person to start who's going to help you support you with that. But if you're bringing in a whole bunch, now you're going to need 2 and 3. And so that becomes your team, and you effectively get to run and manage a team as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Very cool. What technical or soft skills are the most valuable to you?
For me, the soft skills are the most valuable. Technical, I can teach people, I can teach you about insurance. I can teach you how an accord form works, all of these really exciting things. But the soft skills, I'm a believer that you kind of either have them or you don't. And so I want someone who is very personable, who can go out there and I can put them in a room where they don't know anyone and they can start talking to people. Right. I want someone who can hold that conversation. So maybe they're not afraid to talk, but maybe they shouldn't talk. So I want someone who, when they talk, they have something important to say. Okay. And then someone who's competent, someone who can keep a schedule, who clearly has a good head on their shoulders, is organized. You give me those things, and then we can make you a good producer.
Can work with that?
Yes.
Cool. Are there any specific degree programs, majors, or courses that are helpful when entering the industry? I know it's a little late for me.
No.
But for anyone who's like younger and listening to this? So
I'll do it 2 ways. For someone who's in undergrad, I'm sure a lot of the colleges have risk management programs. I think you told me Kutztown maybe doesn't have one.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But we said Temple, we think does.
Temple has a great risk management program. So that would be it. I mean, finance is going to be important, just understanding that. But if there's anything risk management, that's what you should be looking for, because that's what we do. We are in the business of taking someone's risk and managing it, essentially. So finding those sorts of courses would be helpful. Then, if you're already in the industry, there's a whole bunch of things you can do. We have access to, sales training programs. It can be a 6-week program. It could be an 8-week program. It can be a 12-week program where they teach you those fundamentals of sales. Mm-hmm. Again, it goes back to, if you've got the personality, I can give you the tools, to be successful with that personality. Mm-hmm. And then from there, we are big on continuing education. Most of our agents have advanced degrees, whether it's the CISR, the CISR Elite, the CIC, and we sponsor those for our agents because we want them to further their knowledge to be the best in the industry. So there's lots of different options to learning more and being better.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay,
last question.
We'll
come back for more another
good,
time, I
good.
Promise. Maybe I'll have some bonus.
I'm just getting warmed up here.
I know. You're in your element right now. What are the most rewarding aspects of working in insurance? And I've heard you talk about this, but for the group.
Here we go. So to me, I tell my team all the time, we are superheroes. And I mean that. I mean that when someone is having the worst day of their life, that's when we are the most important. Mm-hmm. That we can truly help people in those situations and come to them and say, here's what we can do to make your life whole again. That's without a doubt the most rewarding thing. I love being a part of the community. It's what has attracted me to the industry, and the fact that you can do that, not only can do that, but it's so beneficial to you as an agent to be a part of the community. I love that. So, just being out there, being involved is great. And the money's not bad either.
It's kind of important.
and like, it's not the most important, but it can be very good. And I don't know that everyone understands that. And it's a stable industry. There's so much to like about it. The industry just needs to be better about telling people that, I think. Yeah.
And going off of that, what does the industry look like in the future? I mean, how is it now? And what does it look like in the future? Because I'm not exactly sure how it looks like now.
That's a great question. I think we're at an interesting tipping point where where technology is just going to become more and more important. There's buzzwords like AI and things like that. And I do think they get integrated at some level on sort of the back end. I think you will always need the relationship. And I think the relationship drives things. I sent something out today to our team about referrals and how referrals are the lifeblood of our agency. And they really are, because you develop such a close relationship. Again, we are there, on their worst day. We are there on their best day. They've got a brand new car, a brand new home. We are there at these big moments. We develop emotional relationships. And so I think that human element's always going to be there. But I do think on the back end, the agencies, the companies that are going to survive are those that embrace that technology to become more efficient, to get in front of those clients in unique and different ways.
So what would you say is a way that these companies can embrace that technology? I mean, I don't know how much you know about it. I don't know anything about AI except for ChatGPT, but how can companies do that to elevate their services?
So I think there's a couple different ways. And, I've met with some people on this, and you can almost build a database on the back end with AI. And so you can put in policy forms from all of your carriers, and you can ask it questions essentially and say, hey, is this covered? Or what coverages are missing on this policy for this given risk?
Okay.
And use it to be that first line to get you thinking. And then from there, again, like, you're always going to need the human element, because the robot's not going to think of, the XYZ connection. Yeah. And so that's when you need to be able to say, no, I'm the professional here. I've studied this. I know that this is what needs to happen.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So should we wrap it up, or?
I mean, like I said, I could keep going here, but
let's end this for the day. I'm going to have a bunch of questions next time. This will be episode 1.
Yes.
And then I'll come back in a couple of weeks and we'll do another one.
Perfect.
Okay.
Well, thank you. This was fun.
No, thank you. This is great. I feel like I know so much more already.
Good. Awesome.
All right. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.